the 65th independence of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Right about now, we'll go to thank you very much, sir, for your time, sir. So we'll quickly go to the panelist session. Thank you very much for your time, sir. So we'll quickly go down to the panelist section, and the first set of Ogena will give us the first of 5 sets of panelists that will kick off with the first with the panelist session this afternoon.
Right, so this technical glitch has turned me into a host, a gaffer, a producer, and all of that in one. I can see Mazi Nnamdi Dixon. I bet you understand what I'm going through because I know you're within the media space. Thank you again, sir. That was very heartfelt, Honorable Shola Olofin. And then moving on real quick to the panel discussion. In no particular order because I can't see everybody who's online. But if I kindly call on you, please comment so I know you are here. I don't know if we have Honorable Dayo Israel in the house. Okay. I can see Mazi Dixon Iregbu. You're here, sir. I can also see Honorable Obinna Simeon, popularly known as MC Tagwaye. Do we have Hajia Zainab Buba Galadima in the house?
Yep.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for still being here. Do we also have Mr. Isaac Fayoshe in the house? And do we have Mr. Dipo Jaji in the house? I can see Dr. Khalifa Abbas, so should I include him in this first round? Hello, Mr. Khalifa. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we would commence with our first panel of 4 amazing gentlemen and lady in the person of Mazi Nnamdi Dixon Iregbu, in the person of Honorable Obinna Simeon, in the person of Hajia Zainab Buba Galadima, and of course, Dr. Khalifa Abbas. And so my first question would be to you, Mazi, straight to the point and precise. What unique challenges do you, in your view, perceive that young people face in Nigeria's democratic space? And how can media, a sector which you play hugely in, bridge these gaps? Did you hear my question or do you want me to repeat it, sir?
I heard your question.
Fantastic. Sorry, please, before you carry on, sir, gentlemen and ladies, I beg you, I crave your indulgence. Kindly mute until it's your time to speak so that we can hear our keynote speakers out as they speak. So, Mazi, sir, the floor is yours. Straight to the point and precise.
Thank you very much, and happy independence to all of us. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this conversation. Yes, what is it that is the challenge of the young people within the democratic space in Nigeria, and what the media can do? Paraphrasing you now. The challenges are enormous, but most particular is how the system, the Nigerian system, seems to be rigged against the young people. Even though the young people have more than 70%, if you ask me, of the population of the country, yet the system is not intentional. It's not deliberate to say we're building for the future. We're building for continuity. We're building for generations to succeed the present. So most of the time, young people are only recognized for those menial things that has to do with either serving the crop of leaders that, if you ask me, have nothing to add to the development of our country. The times they aspire you wonder, okay, when the system is so rigged, how can they indeed bring their own contribution to nation building? At the formation stage of our country, those who got the independence of Nigeria, at the time they got this independence, were mostly young people. They were in their 30s, 40s. Nnamdi Azikiwe, I think, was about the oldest at that time, about 42. So, and then the people that succeeded didn't continue in the direction of upholding what they meant. Before now, those days, being educated give you access to employment. Being educated, going to school, give your family an assurance of, an assured future. But that's not the case today. All the institutions of government, like schools that were government built and all of that the crop of leaders will have today enjoyed, they seem to have abandoned them, and nothing to add to that development. So the young people are indeed not encouraged, if I may use that, to dream big in this country. In fact, it appears that this space is not a place where you announce your dream, where you dream. You can't wake up after education and say, oh, okay, this is what I want to be in the next 4 or 5 years. There's this saying out there that Nigeria may not happen to you. But some of us wonder, shouldn't it be positive that Nigeria should happen to us? Because this is our home. But it doesn't seem to be that way. Most young people will rather japa, and because the opportunities out there is well assured for them, but not the same back home here. And what can the media do? Well, the media is already doing what we can. The space, if you observe, most of the media spaces there is mostly occupied by young people. So indeed, we're doing a lot already, and the space is open for young people. What we should rather call out for is, what can the crop of leaders we have now do to help re-engineer the minds of the young people to believe in their fatherland? Because patriotism seems to have died in the minds of young people. Dying for Nigeria is not something that young people aspire to do, because it's just highest you can get is a mini silence. For me personally, it is our country. We shouldn't give up on it. But the crop of leaders we have now have every way possibly frustrated the young people from aspiring to become great in their fatherland.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mazi Dixon Irebu. I mean, I trust you to always speak truth to power and to unashamedly state your stance per time. Before we move back to our the chairman for today's occasion, I would love, in the spirit of gender balance, I would love to call on Hajia first to take her questions, and then we can come back to you, Honorable Sholasa. I hope that is okay. And so, Hajia Zainabuba Galadima, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So I have various questions, for you. But I think the first, building up from where Mazi stopped, which was speaking about how in the past education gave an assured future, and how today we have dead patriotism, but thankfully he also said we shouldn't give up, right? So I would be addressing you from the perspective of, one, gender, two, the fact that you're a daughter of a prominent politician, and three, that you have served as an essay to the vice president prior to this time. And so my question to you, ma'am, is how do you think young women in politics can break structural barriers and stereotypes, from the perspective of the fact that it seems like a lot isn't working out, but we're thankful we have conversations such as the Reserved Seats for Women bill. And so, in your opinion, Ma, how do you think young women in politics, as myself and many others online, can break structural barriers and stereotypes. Straight to the point and precise, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. To your question, young women must start by believing that they belong in leadership spaces. You know, we also need to build solidarity, supporting each other. And also, sometimes I think these stereotypes often shrink our voices before we even speak. Because, so confidence is actually the first act of defiance. And we also need mentoring and also refusing to compete destructively because against themselves that they do not even see that they are supposed to complement each other. And breaking these barriers is not just. Can you hear me?
Yes, go
Perfectly,
ahead.
ma.
Go ahead.
So breaking these barriers is not just about demanding inclusion. You know, it's about showing competence, values, and consistency that no one can dismiss. And most importantly, we must challenge the narrative that politics is a man's game. Politics is about people, and women have always been the heart of people's struggles and survival. When I contested as a councillor, maybe it's because of how I was brought up in my house. I never felt as if I was inferior, or I never felt as if because of my gender, that I couldn't do so many things. In fact, I am the most educated person in my family as of now. And I feel like as parents we also need to give that encouragement right from the foundation to our young girls, to build their confidence, to give them education, get them exposure, and then they would be able to stand in front of people. And when you believe in yourself and you know your self-worth as a woman, I think there is no limit to what you can be. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much, Hajia. I mean, I cannot agree more with you when you said the foundation must be right. Everybody who knows me knows I'm a daddy's girl. And that's because my father, God bless his soul, built me with so much audacity. He made me understand that I could achieve just about anything I wanted to achieve. As a proud Igbo man, I totally agree with you also that competence over preference, because a lot of times young people say things like, oh, there are no opportunities, but at the end of the day, how competent are you? If the opportunity is given to you, you go perform. And of course you said confidence is the first act of defiance. I absolutely agree. And mentorship, I totally agree. So we'll be going back to Honorable Shola. I don't know if he's still online. Honorable, are you online, sir? Honorable Shola Olofin, do we still have you online, sir? So okay, he's back online. Honorable, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here.
So, of course, today you're also serving in the capacity as our third host.
No, I'm not. I'm not still, but I'll give you guys support. No problem.
Fantastic. So, yes, sir.
I just want to contribute, or I want to add to what Mr. Massey, Honorable Massey, earlier said about Nigeria happened to us, and is that out of the abundance of the heart speakers, the mass speakers, we should, as youth, as young Nigeria, we should learn to prophesize positively to the future of this country and even to the present. Because if you look, way back to prior to independence, those people, those young men who fought the independence of this country, they were so positive about it. And nobody gave it to them on a platter of gold. Like they say, power is not served a la carte. We have to stand up for something. Otherwise, you will allow other people who have determination to take over the state of affairs from you. It's just like a lot of people who refuse, a lot of young people who refuse to dabble into politics because they feel that politics is dirty. So at the end of the day, you allow carpenters, mechanics to be ruling you. If you think you're a technocrat and you don't want to do politics, this, that, this, at the end of the day, those people who are not technocrats, who don't know jack, they will take over the affairs of the nation and they will rule over you, the technocrats. And that is what is happening in today's, because the young people refuse. Let me tell you this. At the age of 21, I'll be positive about Nigeria. I left my village in Ekiti State to Abuja. I got to Abuja. I have to trek a lot of kilometers to get to where I'm even going. Okay? Why? Because I was determined that I want to achieve something. Okay? And we started in 2007. We started the Not Too Young to Run B, because I joined force with the likes of Samson Itodo and myself. I was a convener of Reclaim Nigeria then, while Samson Itodos and Tinobono and Co, they were in Yeaga. But we sat down together to say, look, if we can vote at the age of 18, why can't we be voted for? So we sat down and propagate this bill to say, okay, we want it to be assented to. We submitted it. What I'm trying to say now is that at that age, we were determined. We were a group of people who have the time. So we should learn one thing about this country, that this country is great and there's a lot of potential that we can harness. We have to force ourselves to take over from those people, those leaders who do not want to hand over. We have to force ourselves to say enough is enough and take charge of the country. Otherwise, you can't sit down as youth and expect somebody to say, oh, come and take this position. Before I became the chairman of NSITF, I've ran for election 4 times. And all those 4 times, I won my primary elections. But all those governors who were there as leaders took over, they took my ticket and dashed it to whoever they feel is loyal to them. But I did not relent. I continued to fight on. This last election, they said, all my contest, I said, no. I have seen that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because I sat with this man sometimes, and I learned a lot from him about democracy, how he fought for democracy, how he became the governor of Lagos State. You will not believe that this man was in prison in 1992 during the military junta. And having looked at his pedigree, I said, oh, I can support this man. That was why I created Batman God to give him support. And he won the election. And I can see the way he's redefining Nigeria. I know everything is tough right now, but this problem doesn't start today. The problem was created a long time ago. And for you to fix it, you have to have a framework. And man is creating that framework. So I will just urge all Nigerian youth to let us support, let us, be reasonable enough to give support and be positive about this country. That is what I want to say here. Because anywhere you are going, I travel out and meet people who has this Japa syndrome. And each country I go to and I see Nigerians there, I know Nigerians are doing well, but a lot of people who have Japa recently, they are crying. They want to come back home because they are not finding it funny there. And the places we are Japan to, there are people who stood their ground when things are very difficult in those places. When development is not there, they stood their ground and they stand to promote the country. So we should stand and promote our country, develop our country, so we can.
Guys, sorry guys, can we mute anybody who isn't speaking? There's an Abbas and there's feedback from there, so that we can mute anybody who isn't meant to speak. Thank you so very much, honorable gentlemen. Could you kindly mute your mic if you are not granted the podium to speak, please? Can we kindly mute our mic until we are invited to speak for decorum's sakes? Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable, like you rightly stated, we need to be positive, take charge, and get involved. We shouldn't relent. We should keep showing up and ensure that for us to fix Nigeria, we must have a framework. I also believe that Mazi Dixon would also perhaps want to have a right of reply, but before that, I would be handing over the podium to my co-host in the person of Ambassador Desmond Agbola, who would then introduce the next panelist. Ambassador Desmond, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll still continue with this panelists. But my question will go to Honorable Simon, Obina Simon, popularly known as MC Tagwai. You are a youth, you are very passionate youth, and we know you to be very concerned about anything that have to do with the youth of Nigeria. You have of the All Progressive Congress sometimes back, and from there you move to Social Democratic Party, contesting for the executive chairman of AMAC Area Council in Abuja here. I want to ask you, how have you been able, for so far that you have been in this journey, what is your manifesto to the youth of the FCT, and how do you think you can galvanize the youth, and at the end of the day, you can achieve your purpose? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to my co-panelists. It's indeed a wonderful thing. I can see a lot of faces I already
Who's
know.
next?
Honorable is there, Mazi Namdi Dixon is there, my sister Honorable Zainabuba Galadima is there, and so many other people. Asking of the things we intend to do, contesting under SDP as a party, like I always say, and like I've said several times in many media houses, that I didn't just come up one day and say we want to run for AMAC chairman. There are a lot of things that have fueled the ambition to run for the office. I have a foundation here in Abuja, Tagwai Foundation. And that foundation started since 2017. I've never for once thought that I'm going to run for AMAC chairman, or in fact, contesting for chairman is the least of what I was thinking I was going to do. But at the end of the day, here we are. In 2023, some group of youths approached me that next year, 2024, is the election, before the court judgment that extended their tenure from 3 years to 4 years. So this election was supposed to take place 2024, but that didn't happen because of the court judgment that extended the tenure of the area councils here in the FCT to 4 years. So they approached me. I told them I'm not interested. I don't want to, not even if I want to contest for election, not chairman. So the pressure became very, very tough. That they had to meet someone, a mentor of mine, and they told him, he summoned me and told me, do you have a foundation? I say yes. What do you do in that foundation? I said, I help people. He said, how do you get resources to do that? I say, my personal resources. He said, do you know how many people you'll be able to help when you become the AMAC chairman? If you have passion helping people, if you become AMAC chairman, do you know how many people you will help with the resources that will be available? So my advice to you is that go and discuss with your family, discuss with your parents, your siblings, and then get back to me after 1 week. And that is what I did. And approaching my parents said, your mentor is very correct. He is right. He has made very valid points. So I accepted to run. And of course, one of the things that discouraged a lot of youths in running for office is because when you come up, those, let me use the word, the establishment will use words like, you are naive. They will use words like, you have youthful exuberance, which will also affect your decisions and actions in leadership. These are what they will tell you. The next line of advice will be, wait.
Is all right.
Learn the process. You need to be under somebody, learn under somebody, do this, do that. You know, these are the, things they commonly say. So, but we started consultation in APC, and because of my relationship, I've been in APC since 2013-14. So, it was very clear. The friends I have told me, Chagwai, I said yes. I said, don't waste your money, don't waste your time. These people will not give you tickets. They have resolved whom they are going to give the ticket to. Now, as at that time, the resolve was to give the ticket to the incumbent AMAC chairman, who was then in the PDP. He has not even decamped to APC, but they have prepared the ground for him to come and pick the ticket. And we that have been with the party for so many years and what have you, have been jettisoned. So I left. I joined SDP. By the grace of God, we got it. And here we are today. Because sometimes political parties do not look at the potentials. They do not look at the value.
So should I look at that camera now, or I should look at the camera?
What they look at is interest. And this interest, at the end of the day, does not serve the people. The interest serves only few people, not the majority of the people. Okay? And then, coming to the last question you asked about what we have for the people of AMAC, I'm not going to details, but one of the things in my manifesto is good governance, transparency, and accountability. This is one of the things that are lacking. Leaders are scared to be transparent. They are scared to be accountable because they know a lot of questions will arise. All right? And so that is why I made it one of my key points, to be transparent as a leader, and then infrastructure and urban development, talk about roads and drainages, electric and lighting, water supply, urban renewable, and the rest of them, education and youth empowerment. That is very key for me. I was once a teacher for 8 good years. I've been teaching. All right? So I don't play with education. All right? And then I have also, like I told you, I have a foundation. I have gone round AMAC. I have seen the state of education in AMAC. Today I was watching one documentary about the current AMAC chairman. The documentary, they were showing schools they have renovated, the chairs they have given, and what have you. How do you donate 500 pieces of desks? These 500 pieces of desks are not like 3 in 1. They are single desks, 500 pieces. How many primary schools do you have in AMAC? We have over 100 and something primary schools. And then you chose one particular school, renovated it, repainted it, put chairs there, and then pick it up as your documentary of what you have done. These are things that, make me feel very, very bad. I've been to a school here in AMAC. They receive lessons while seated on the floor. Some of the children will lie flat on the floor to be receiving lessons. In the FCT, getting to that school, I don't think you drive up to 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You are in that school. And then you have a chairman that currently shares money from one uncle to another while schools and children are going through that kind of pain. And these are children that just came back from strike that started since February, March, over 4 to 5 months. I will not allow that to happen. Why? Because I'm a young man and I don't intend to retire politics in AMAC. I intend to further my political career into a place that is higher than AMAC. And
Fantastic.
if I intend to do that, I have to, create a legacy that I will always make reference to for people to go and find out by themselves what we have done there.
Absolutely.
And healthcare and social welfare. Health in AMAC is suffering serious neglect. Neglect in the sense that I was not happy. I was emotional about you have health centers that there are no drugs there. In fact, I have a footage of a health center where they are rearing cows in the compound now.
Oh, wow.
That is what they do. And by the side of the health center, you have a heap of refuse they used to dump there in AMAC. Okay? And then I felt like, okay, fine, it's okay. Then we interviewed some of the staff. They said they don't pay them anything. They generate what they pay themselves and ad hoc staffs. Okay? They pay themselves and ad hoc staffs. Then also, the one that got me mad, I didn't know when I hit the table when they were telling me about it. These are real stories. It's not as if the person telling me is one of my team members and they saw it real life. They use syringe for more than 2-3 persons.
Check your phone.
In AMAC, a primary health center. When they inject a particular person, after injecting the person, they will use spirit to rinse it, so to say, sterilize it, and then put it back, waiting for the next patient to come. They will use it on the patient in AMAC. So, I categorize this as not being as if it's anything else but one word: wickedness. Nobody in this life will be humanly sane and allow this to be happening. All right? And so health is one of the key things I'm going to focus on as a young man and as someone who has seen all these abnormalities happening in AMAC. Then security and community safety. We just had what happened, the tragic incident that happened with our sister in Katampe Extension, the lady that works with Arise TV. It's quite unfortunate. In the capital city, at the interview I had with Arise the other day, I told them that if you don't take care of these satellite towns, even the people living in the main city will not be safe. Because they will infiltrate the main city and cause havoc. I made mention of this. You are not safe because if they get hungry, they get angry, this is where they will flood into. And so as AMAC chairman, I'm not going to spend time in Betama, Garki, a part of Garki, Asokoro, and the rest of them. No. You go to all those areas. There are places they say they are shanties, that they are temporary places that the government will demolish. You say these places, the people living there are not supposed to live there. They are living illegally. If they are living illegally, why do you put police units there? It means federal government has recognized there are residents there. There are people living there. Why do you have police unit there? If you say it's a temporary place, will you put police unit in a forest or in a bush? No. So these people need the touch of governance. They need it because they are Nigerians. This is the capital city of the country. Regardless of where you came from, this is a center. You have a right here, okay, to do business and do whatever you need to do.
Absolutely.
Okay, so security and community safety is one of also
Thank you very much.
points.
Thank
and
you very
have
much.
economy, jobs, and markets.
I don't think you can
by
hear
the
it.
grace of God, modernizing, building neighborhood mini markets to avoid. Sometimes you see
can speak
how
now.
these people pursue the people selling by the roadside and what have you.
All right.
No need for that.
Thank you very much, thank you very much, Honorable. You'll still get more into that much later.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Very well stated. Please, at this time, I think we have um, Mazi Dixie Irebo is still online.
Yeah, he's still online.
Uh,
However, before we get back to him,
yeah,
we still have Mr. Isaac Fayoshe. We still have Dr. Khalifa. And so, just to recap on what Honorable Obina had stated clearly, that for him, his driving force is on the pillars of good governance, transparency, accountability, infrastructural development, education, and so much more. You know, and for someone who was a teacher, entertainer, humanitarian, now politician, and he also buttressed on the need for people to be empowered. Sorry, gentlemen and ladies, if you're not speaking, kindly mute your mic. Thank you. And so we'll be moving to our next panelist, and this is someone whose brother brought about the theme stomach infrastructure into the political space. And I would be building up this question from the perspective of a strong belief I have, which is that for as long as Nigeria remains a democratically governed nation, politics is a must. And as long as people are impoverished, they would always vote from a place of hunger. Now, I am an entrepreneur, and I believe strongly that for us to change the poverty narrative of Nigeria and Africa into truly becoming a giant of prosperity, then the entrepreneurial space must be hugely encouraged. I'm sure everyone agrees with me. And so to you, Mr. Isaac Fayoshe, thank you for being here, sir, and happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day. How are you?
I am amazing. And so my question for you, sir, thank you, sir, for being here. My question for you, sir, is, as an entrepreneur and activist, what parallels do you see between building businesses and building democratic institutions? And what reforms would you advocate to create enabling environments for youth-led enterprises in Nigeria? Do you want me to take the question again, sir?
Yeah, okay. Yes, please.
I stated, sir, that as an entrepreneur and activist, what parallels or connecting lines do you see between businesses and building democratic institutions? And as an advocate, what do you advocate for in terms of reforms that can create an enabling environment for young or youth-led enterprises in Nigeria? Straight to the point and precise, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. I think when people are poor, there is no democracy. When people can access funds, there is no democracy. There is no business. If people are poor, democracy is not
So
about
after him, we'll go to Khalifa.
putting infrastructure together. It's about building people. There are so many roads we have
Well,
in
Khalifa has been
Nigeria
online
today, that Wiki has done. There is only cow that are passing the road because people don't even have money for fuel. People are so poor. Banks today in Nigeria cannot borrow you ₦1 without collateral. So I think democracy should be about building people first. As you are building infrastructure, you have to build people. Businesses in Nigeria are going down now because the level of poverty in our country now has gone haywire. So any business you open, people just see you as a national cake. They want to chop your business because they are poor. You know, there is a difference between being poor and being poverty of the mind. When you have poverty of the mind, you just want to take, grab. That's poverty of the mind. And all those things you are stealing, they cannot even take you anywhere. After 2-3 days, it's like someone snatching phone. You snatch phone today, you go and eat. Tomorrow you are back on the street till the day they catch you and lynch you or give you jungle justice. I think in Nigeria, I think our government intentionally put our people on in poverty so they won't be able to challenge them. That's what I think. Because if you are sharing trillions every month, look at my state, for example. My state governor has had over 400 billion. And if you go to the state, there is no road, there is nothing. It's only in my state that I see a ring road with one lane. Can you do ring road with one lane? Say this is a ring road, but it's one lane. You know, so and because we don't have true democracy here, we have selection. There is no election. INEC chairman that is coming is party. And INEC chairman that is coming already have result of 2027 that he will come and deliver. So you see, I don't think we have democracy yet. I think what we have now is still the village headmaster taking care of everybody. You know, we don't have. Today is our Independence Day, but there is no independence yet. We are still praying for God to give us independence. You know, so I don't think there is democracy when people are poor. Okay, they said President today said they shared 330 billion to poor Nigerians. 25,000. My sister, if you drop 25,000 in 3-4 days, it's gone. It's that money. When you can take this 330 billion and look for entrepreneurs, look for business people, let them invest. You give me 25K. What's that money for? Is that gyro or you know? Those things like that shows we are not even ready yet. We are not there yet. We are still just 330 billion. Even if you share that among just 10,000 business people and say, okay, oh yeah, go and do something, they will employ people. Those people will get money monthly from the investment. But this one you are sharing 25,000 to 8. You said 8 million people. I've been asking people. I haven't seen one person out of the 8 million that said, oh, I got 25,000. What is 25,000? So our government, I think they want us here. Because if we are not down, they cannot have their way. That's what I think. You know, a man on the floor. What can you say when you're on the floor? You'll be saying, Bami, because you're on the floor. You don't have a choice. Go to banks, doesn't give money. Government don't give money. So you have to either find your way to the top. How do you say we are living in a country where you cannot, nobody will empower you, cannot then, government is not there for you. Bank is not there for you. So you are on whole God. You know, I don't think there is democracy here too. I think what we have now is village setting.
Fantastic, sir. That's an amazing place to leave it. And sincerely, you're entitled to your opinion. And I could see a few people nodding and laughing while you were talking. So I'm guessing a lot of people also share this opinion. You know, for me, I find it particularly baffling that you have a ring road with one lane. And I understand, I understand you're also from the same state with my co-host, Ambassador Desmond. But, you know, in those of us who are journalists like to, you know, actually have a balanced conversation. And I think we all here are aware that even from the presidency, they have constantly spoken about the citizens and indigents holding their leaders accountable, in this case, governor of the state accountable. We will go back to that conversation. However, you stated clearly that, you know, while we build infrastructure, our leaders should also build people. And that today, our democracy still feels like a selection. And it is time for us to build systems. And sincerely, that is why we have the Democracy Youth Roundtable conversation. Because just as everyone here has said, even Honorable Shola has said, it all begins with the mind, you know, and that is why we are here today. And we're hoping that these conversations would consistently teach us, we would consistently learn, unlearn, and relearn, and work towards building that Nigeria that we all would be proud of. So I would be going to the next panelist in the person of Dr. Khalifa Abbas. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. You were one of the first people here. We appreciate you for that. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes, happy Independence Day. Yes, I can.
Happy Independence Day.
Fantastic. So, sir, from your perspective as a public analyst, politician, and an overall Nigerian who is trying to build a progressive Nigeria, how do you think that young people can bridge the regional and religious divide? How can we bridge that gap to build a nation that is truly unified?
Well, good afternoon to everyone. I think I will start by saying young people have to be engaged in every process of election, every process of election that leads leaders to actually come to light to become their leaders. Because one issue we're having with the most of our youth is they don't want to be engaged. They are all mostly distanced in the process of elections, in process of selecting or electing a leader. And those leaders we're going to select or elect are going to be the ones that actually decide whether we're going to have a good governance, whether we're going to have a good future, whether we're going to have good opportunities. So without being part of the process, I don't think there is an opportunity for people like us in the government. So which is why I always advise the youth to be engaged in the process, not to stay distant and be complaining about what is happening. And when you talk about the youth, you talk about the whole Nigerian youth, not only the educated ones. Because one issue we're always having is few of us that actually been to school and have access to education, we feel we are the ones that actually elect the leaders. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we feel we are actually the ones that elect the leaders, which the majority part of those who actually do election or follow election processes have not been to school, don't have opportunities like we do, and they are the ones deciding who our leaders are going to be. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
So if we are not being
Send you a
engaged,
message now.
we are being distanced by complaining about what is happening while not participating in electoral processes, then I don't think there is a future for this country. Because the issue is, when you complain about the leaders, I had my fellow community here talking about leaders, and the main issue is not really the leaders. The main issue is the voters who vote for the leaders, who bring them to the table where they get to actually participate as leaders. So if we are going to put our heads down and forget about our differences, forget about our religious differences, our ethnic differences, and come together to decide and vote for someone who care about Nigeria, someone who is actually willing to go forward in making sure that our people are actually going to survive, then maybe there is a chance for us to have good governance in Nigeria. But the way the whole political process is actually taking place, the politician comes out with money and follow the unopportune people to make sure they get elected. And the fact that we allow them to man over the whole system or the whole process, then at the end of the road, they're going to have those offices and they are going to be doing whatever they want to do. And while we sit out here complaining about what they are doing every single day until the next election. By next election, we do the same mistake. We vote for them again. They go again, and we keep on complaining again. So to my own perspective, I get to understand through the processes I've been following, because I've been part of the political parties and I'm part of all the processes throughout the years, and I've seen our issues. I've seen the issues we're having. Those who are actually contributing
Sorry, sir. Sorry, please, Dr. Abbas. Gentlemen and ladies, please, if you do not have the floor, kindly mute your mic to enable us hear our speaker, please. If you do not have the floor, kindly mute your mic. Thank you very much. Carry on, Dr. Abbas.
Okay, so basically, hello?
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so
Can you guys
basically,
mute the person who isn't
the leaders
talking now?
that are leading us are actually the main problem, not leading them themselves. Because without voting them, they're not actually going to be in that position to be doing what they're doing and affecting Nigerians the way it's actually been affected. Now, if you go to people's daily lives, you get to understand how people are actually suffering with these governments, how people are trying to survive.
like my company said, people are just trying to survive. There is no money to actually even do businesses. There is no opportunities for people like for young people to exist in this kind of country. Almost all the youths that are opportunity to go to school are going to school and coming out applying for jobs that are not employment to employ them. So there is a whole process that needs to be changed before we can get to where we want to actually get to.
All right. Thank you very much.
Can you hear us? Hold on.
Hello?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Dr. Abbas. You have reiterated basically everything we've been saying here, which is be involved, be engaged, and be a part of the selection process. In fact, I think one of the things you said that stood out most to me was that most times we blame our leaders and we divert attention from we the voters. You know, basically we should stop voting in the wrong people. Yes, sir. Thank you so very much. And on that note, I'll be handing over to my co-host who would be introducing the next panelist. I think we have about two. Thank you, sir. We have about two panelists in the waiting line. So, Ambassador Desmond, take it away.
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon. Happy Independence Day. I think we have Ms. Blessing Hagu, the strategic lead, community manager of for DIN. I think he's online, and we also have Professor Chris Imumole, the national chairman of Accord Party. I think he's online too. But my question will go to Ms. Blessing Agu. You have been a youth advocate for over a decade, a youth leader. And I want to ask you this question. What are the problems facing Nigerian youth today? And how can the government of the day tackle these issues?
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Desmond Agola. And sorry, Ambassador Desmond Agola. And of course, Madam President, it's good to see you.
Happy
Happy
Independence Day.
Independence Day. Happy Independence Day. Thank you so much for organizing this event. It's very well thoughtful of you. I mean, the host, right? And I'm so happy to be here to talk about these issues, especially issues that you young people, youth face here in Nigeria. So if I got your question correctly, you said as a vibrant youth or something, right? What do I think is the biggest challenge that Nigerian youths are facing?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are right. Go ahead.
So I don't know which one is the biggest, but I know I know there are so.
Her network.
Cool.
My goodness.
Are you
Can
there?
you hear me? Yes,
Yes,
I'm here.
Yeah, please go ahead, please.
Okay. So I know one of the biggest challenge is this economic exclusion, right? The inequality looks kind of so large. In economic exclusion in terms of both in terms of education, in terms of job, in terms of opportunities for innovation, right? I was opportune to look at what the World Economic Future of Job Report is saying as at from now to 2030, and I try to juxtapose it with the Nigerian future of job, and for young people. And I see that there's this tremendous gap between what the future of job is saying globally and what Nigeria is currently, and what we are looking at the youth to being. So one of these biggest challenges is this economic exclusion. We are seeing that there is a big gap in quality education. For example, I've been opportune to analyze and go through people's application, and you're like, did these people go to be, did these people go to uni? Did these people go to uni? And it's just very crazy. So it seems that there is a lot that needs to be fixed in our education sector to make our young people to also meet up to, the global demands. However, I will give it to Nigerian youth. Nigerian youth are very, very strong. We have this resilient spirit. We thrive in every challenging arena that we find ourselves. So, and many of us are very creative. I mean, you can see how even in the whole unemployment, that is ravaging our economy, you see that young people are still trying to make use of their creative skills, like people going into content creation, people leveraging on technology, and AI and what have you to make ends meet. And it's really working for majority of, Nigerians. However, I feel like a lot has to be done. I did a project some time ago, and it has to do with insurance, health insurance for unemployed and vulnerable youth. So we got to know that a lot of people don't even know that there is a health insurance, and not even talk of if the health insurance captures unemployed and vulnerable youth. So vulnerable youth means people who did not even go to school. You did not go to school, therefore you don't even have a job, or you are underpaid in this context. So these are some of the issues I think are big issues. And another big issue that I feel like I've identified is tribalism. I feel currently the high level of tribalism among young people, in Nigeria is very alarming, very, very alarming. It wasn't like this before now. I mean, 10 years ago, as of 2015, 2014, 2015, it wasn't this alarming. But now we see how every small thing, like, oh, this Igbo person, oh, this Yoruba, oh, he's Hausa. In fact, there is now a difference, the Hausa and the Fulani. It's crazy. And if we don't curtail it, if we allow this thing to get worse than it is going to really, disrupt the social sector, and is going to cause a whole lot of more havoc.
All right. Thank you
Than
very
what we are
much.
seeing now. So I think these are like one last one. Talking about the insecurity aspect. Okay, so making it three major challenges now that I have identified. So the insecurity in the sense that, like I said, young people in Nigerian youth are very strong, right? But we need an enabling environment. If we feel this environment is safe, at least it's safe, Nigerian youth can always find a way to navigate their way. The coppers are complaining, leaving their environment, leaving one of their points to another point. There's no guarantee that you're going to get to where you are going without, maybe armed robbers or maybe full kidnappers. And it's a whole lot. So it's hindering the business space, people who are, into business to really want to thrive. So everybody is putting their hands in the hands of the Lord, which is really very challenging. And it's an issue I feel is also a concern, among the youth here in Nigeria. Thank you. I'll stop from now.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Blessing Agu. You gave us a tripartite challenge, which is, of course, economic exclusion of young people, the need for improved education, and, of course, creating an enabling environment with insecurity and or security in focus. And I totally, absolutely agree with you. In fact, when you were speaking, I don't know if you noticed when I was chuckling, when you said something about sometimes you read what graduates present and you ask yourself, did this person actually go to school, And look, the list is endless, but there was something Honorable Shola said, which is that we need to re-engineer. Okay, sorry, I was a little distracted there. We need to reignite our mindset into building a nation that works, because even most of the countries we look up to as the great nations of the world, they had their people stay in there to fix their challenges even when it seemed like nothing was working. And that again is the reason why we're having this conversation. And I crave our indulgence that this conversation shouldn't just end here virtually, virtually everyone here is a leader in our various sectors, in our various space. And my deepest, earnest prayer is that beyond the laughter, beyond the amazing ideas that we have, we should ensure that we take home the message of a progressive, prosperous Nigeria first mentality to the nooks and crannies, and of course to the foundation, which is our individual homes. The next question would be for, of course, yet another panelist in the person of Mr. Dipo Jaji. Are you here, sir? Mr. Dipo.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So my name is Favor, and I'm so sorry. Mr. Dipo has been anticipating this event for a very long time now. We've even been posting on social media.
Yes, please.
But he just came down with a cold.
Uh-oh.
I think he's call as well, but he's unable to speak.
So are you standing in for him, or you're just passing an information on his absence?
No, I'm standing in for him. I'm here.
Fantastic, Miss Favor. Thank you for being here. At least we have more women now, so I'm excited. Happy Independence Day to you and yours.
Same to you, Madam President.
Yes, ma'am. So I'll be asking you a question. And I understand that Mr. Dipo is a philanthropist, humanitarian entrepreneur. Am I correct?
Yes, he is.
Fantastic. So in marrying everything that we have discussed today, my question would be, how can Nigerian NGOs and civil society groups work with the government to create scalable youth empowering projects?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. And I will just start like this, right? Let's just imagine a country, in Nigeria, where everyone, I mean, when people hear the word philanthropist, they just see that someone that is giving away, right? But it goes way beyond that. It goes way deeper than that. Just imagine a Nigeria where everyone has a philanthropic nature in their head. Like, you are supposed to go to the market, you have this, it is called, I don't want to use the word being kindness or being all that, but it is called being a human, because we are humans first before we became anything.
Absolutely.
Right? It affects how we act. We see someone that is struggling on the road, we know, oh, there is a way we can actually be better. We support that person. In the buses, when we hop on buses, you see someone struggling to pay their own transport. I decide to, oh, driver, I'm going to pay for two. This is how philanthropy, this is basically what philanthropy is about. But people like Mr. Kodaji has taken it to like to the next level, whereas that they don't need to actually just stumble on cases alone. They go as far as bringing out activities where these things can actually be made possible, like the paying back to school, doing the back to school project, and all of these things. And it is simply because he was a human first. So imagine in Nigeria where everyone thinks like Mr. Dikojaji, for example. And now imagine Nigeria being enabled by the state government. Like, I am going to pay 100. Sorry, I'm echoing. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, it's a lot better now.
Okay. I want to pay. I have from my pocket. There was another that spoke about doing some philanthropic activities from his pocket, and someone told him that just imagine what you could do when you are in a position where you have the resources. You are touching just 5 widows today. You are supporting them with their dilapidated buildings. You are rebuilding it, and this is what Mr. Dikojaji actually does. In Surulere, there is like evidence everywhere, right? This is somebody that is not even in the political position at all. That is why I am thinking with that honorable that spoke earlier, right? Someone now told him that just imagine that this is where you are helping just three people. Imagine how much people and how much impact you can make when you are in a position where there are resources available to help support this thing. You know, the straight answer is that will make more impact. So this is me answering your question now. If the government is supporting individuals like Mr. Dikojaji, the country is going to be a super better. In fact, I don't think this issue we're having now, we're going to be having. I don't even think this roundtable conversation is just going to be we recounting our blessings and saying, Mr. Diko wanted to do 100, government head him. In fact, he submitted a letter
letter to, maybe he wanted to send 100 people back to school. He now submitted a letter to State Ministry of Education. And they said, oh, you have bought money for 100. Why not just let's make it 1,000? That's enabling his dream. Now, Mr. Deep already has the resources. I'm using Mr. Deep as an example because I'm trying for us to imbibe the philanthropic lifestyle. It doesn't have to be a person. Everyone can be a philanthropist in their own field, in their own space. At your office space, oh, you are coming, you are seeing this colleague is struggling, oh, she has like 100 children. You are coming with an extra box of lunch for her. You are coming with, that is you being, like, leading your own philanthropic nature. Now, imagine the government enabling this. You submit a letter that, oh, you're about to do this thing for this community, and the government is telling you, oh, you have just 1 million here, let's add 5 million naira on it to support you, because you already have the resources, you already have the energy. It takes a very strong-willed person to come up. It is not about him. Plan activities to impact another person, change another person's life, and take it to the government, and the government says, see, this your dream is so beautiful and we love it and we would like to support you in it. Regardless, you're not even holding any political position. And the government goes ahead to support you and give you the backbone you need. So everyone, the first thing that the government is going to be doing at this point is basically encouraging activities like that, encouraging individuals like that to come up. So if we're going to marry everything together, I'm just going to say that in a country where if the government of the country supports individuals like this, enables them by even giving them the right political position, like this is somebody that's already making impact when it comes to youth and sports, and then you are seeing another person that is getting the position to be, oh, maybe commissioner, quote unquote, of youth and sports and all of that. Somebody that does not even know how to hold a basket to play the tennis, or somebody that does not even know where a field is located. So you see, end up empowering the wrong people. So the kind of collaboration I would expect is that where the government sees what, sorry, I keep using the government. The government sees individuals that are already thriving and doing so well in this field, enables them by providing every resource for them to shine.
Absolutely.
Marrying down to these youths, you can see a lot
Can you
of
unmute me?
stuff coming.
Unmute me so I can speak.
So imagine a Nigeria where the governor traces an account and say, oh, I noticed you talk about how to empower people to learn online skills, tech skills, all of that. In fact, let's collaborate with you and empower 1 million Nigerians in doing that as a youth.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Miss Favor. I mean, I love your energy. I was about to give you a round of applause. And I think this is the beautiful thing about leadership and mentorship, because if this is Miss Favor, a member of Mr. Dipo's team, spitting this much energy and fire, then you can just imagine if Mr. Dipo hadn't lost his voice, the energy we would have had here today. And that's the beautiful thing about the selection of individuals, the crop of individuals we've brought here today. You can see it's not about the numbers, but about the impact. And on behalf of myself and the organizers of this event, I would love to say thank you for taking time off your very busy schedule to be here with us. We appreciate you all. And Omo, with people like us, I know that this Nigeria that we desire will definitely come to life. I'll be moving to our next panelist. This is a man who needs no introduction. During the last election, he was the youngest presidential candidate. As a matter of fact, in the history of Nigeria, I believe, the youngest presidential candidate we've had. He's an entrepreneur and also a major player within the educational sector. I'm speaking of no other person than Professor Chris Imumolen. Do we have you online, sir? Hello, Professor Chris, do we have you online? While we're waiting for him to join us online, perhaps the technical crew could reach out to him. I can see we have a few hands raised. So if you have a question, kindly type it with, into the Q&A box so that we can address that. And before we have Professor Chris, I would be going back to all of our amazing speakers for you to give us, can you hear me? Okay, fantastic, because everybody was quiet and not moving. So I wanted to be sure that technology was not technologying us. I'll be going back to all of our amazing speakers in the order in which you were introduced. And I want you to give us a two-line close. A two-line close, straight to the point and precise. And first on the list, of course, is Mazi Dixon Irebu. Sir, you've listened to all of the fantastic ideas we've had, all of the fantastic arguments we've had. In your view, sir, your closing remark in just 2 lines, what would it be for a better Nigeria?
I wonder what my 2 lines would do, but I'd rather borrow, since you confined me to 2 lines, I'll borrow from the anthem that we recited. That is our trigger. There's a line that I love so much in our anthem, that it is you the nation where no man is oppressed. But while we were reciting it, there's another part that I also identified that I thought I should mention. Let us build a nation where no one is oppressed, but in brotherhood. He said, in brotherhood we stand. But are we standing in brotherhood? That part is important. There is no brotherhood being activated in the system. Nigerians need to be reconciled with each other. I think, sincerely, that this is not a nation yet. Nigeria is a group of nations doing nationhood business without a memorandum of understanding. And that is why we are all angling to go to the center. Igbo man wants to be president, Hausa man wants to be president, Yoruba man wants to be president, and all of that. That turn-by-turn thing is only because we are not a nation yet. So there's a need for us to, as young people, realize that we owe ourselves a duty to recalibrate towards building our nation. Nigeria is just a country at the moment. So we need to understand that we will not live this same kind of chaotic environment as we're presently experiencing, that our fathers and mothers seem to have given to us. Everyone has spoken very well, but let's appreciate the fact that this is about young people. And if it is about young people, then we need to indeed stir in us that love for fatherland. Patriotism is missing. We don't care about Nigeria yet. Many of us don't. When I raised my hand earlier, if you may just permit me, when I raised my hand earlier, Honorable Shola was attempting to purpose to support his choice candidate and all of that. But how well has this Democrat that he's selling to us done as a Democrat? How democratic is the environment as being watched today by the current president, who is said to be a Democrat, who is said to be one of those that fought for democracy? There's no democracy here yet. Under the watch of the current president, Nigerians are hounded when they protest. Under the watch of the current president, it is not policies of the government, doesn't seem to be about the people. For instance, yes, every day we hear, oh, I took the top decision to remove subsidy and all of that. Okay, haven't removed it, what have you achieved? Nigerians are dying of hunger. The economy is in shambles and all of that. And nobody should confuse us to accept that once a policy statement is made, that you cannot revert, especially when the people you're making that policy for are not benefiting from it. I think sincerely that there's a need for this government, if those who are close to the government are listening, there is a need for this government to rejig its approach to governance. It doesn't seem to be about the people. The policies of government, they keep telling us, tighten your belt, be patient, and it's 2 years plus already, and there's nothing to show for it. Any leader whose watch is supervising people die of hunger should be ashamed of himself. People are dying of hunger in our country, and this government keeps telling us cock and bull about policies that will better Nigeria and all of that. So young people, take your destinies in your hands. Our destinies must be, pushed by us, because it appears that these people out there don't care about our collective interests. And so I submit that regional angle, if justice, equity, and fairness is on the table, then there will be need for people like us who have clamored for certain things to be done so that we can unite our country again, should probably be listened to. If this president is listening, please afford me the opportunity to use this medium to say, please, southeastern Nigeria, where I come from, we are clamoring for the release of a young man who only said, my people are being treated badly. And if you will not treat us right in our country, then allow us to go. And that became a crime. That is Nnamdi Kanu. For goodness sake, our region is in shambles, is in disarray. And we're asking for, please, can this government just listen and just do the right thing in the interest of the Nigerian people, so that we may just build that nation that we're looking for, where no man or woman is oppressed. So
Thank you.
And I say to young people, our destiny is in our hands.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mazi Dixon Iregbu. I knew when I asked you for 2 lines that you were going to give me 2 chapters, but it's okay. We will consistently speak truth to power. And I mean, we all heard him. For him, it is for us to indeed build a nation where no man is oppressed, and for the need for the policies to be people-driven, and that we must amplify and stand on the pillars of justice, equity, and fairness. Thank you so very much, Mazi Dixon Iregbu. And on that note, we'll be going to the next panelist in the person of Hajia Galadima. I hope you're online, ma'am. While we wait for... Oh, fantastic. So, Hajia, I'm sure you heard everything we've said so far. And as one of our panelists, we would love for you to give us not 2 chapters, but 2 lines, closing notes. Yes, ma.
Okay, I've heard what everybody has said about young people not being given the opportunity. To me, my own belief is, since the opportunities have refused to, come up, I think we should first add value to ourselves. Like Mazi said, Nigerians also need to be reconciled, because I do not really like the idea of how young people are against each other. I think we need to come together, add value to ourselves, create opportunities for ourselves, because the government is not going to do everything for us. That one is, established already. So we really need to come together, and Nigeria first before anything. We've lost that sense of patriotism.
I don't understand.
We need to rebuild it. But first, really, the system needs to be fixed. So, to my dear young people and, for the entire Nigerians, this is our country. We are brothers and sisters of each other, regardless of tribe, religion, region, or whatever. So we can't keep killing ourselves. We can't keep insulting ourselves. We need to come together and make a better Nigeria.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Hajia Galadima. You stated clearly that we need to add value. There's need for reconciliation and genuine, sincere brotherhood. I'll be moving to Honorable Obinna Simon. Your 2-line closing remark. I can see a hand raised. Kindly send in a question if it is a question. And I understand we have Dr. Nasser, who is standing in for Professor.
No.
Oh, he's not. Okay, so we would.
President of
Okay.
United Nigerian Youth Congress.
Fantastic. So we'll come back to him after we have the 2-liners from everyone else. So carry on, Honorable Obinna Simon, sir. You have to unmute yourself, sir.
Honorable Bina.
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. I just muted me. We are not used to these modern technologies.
We forgive you.
The ones we use are from 1963. Anyway, I'm very happy, from the deliberations and all that has been said. I was also wondering that my elder brother Mazi Nnamdi Dixon has not shot several missiles, but he didn't disappoint. At the end of the day, he did. It comes to a point in this country that we don't have to be political. It comes to a point in this country that we have to face the reality. It's not about politics. But one thing I am happy about today is people are beginning to understand that it's not about party, it's about the character, an individual. If you like, change party 5 times. It doesn't change who you are, it's just the party you are changing. All right? So, for me, young people needs to understand when given the opportunity, you have the tickets of nothing less than 80 to 90 million youths in Nigeria. Because if you don't prove yourself, you are denying those people the same opportunity to prove themselves. Okay? So, when given the opportunity, one needs to understand that I have to make this count. Okay? All these excuses that they give to us, you are naive, you don't have experience, you don't have this. And I keep asking, when the opportunity was given to you, what experience did you have? Where were you before? What were you before? We have seen a lot of people that were PAs to some, office holders 10, 15 years ago. Today, they are governors. So, is the duty of a PA the same as being a governor? What are you saying? So, there is no point trying to hold us down. Wait, you don't have experience yet. Just wait. You should go and be mentored. And what is the mentoring? I will go and be mentored by somebody I know is contributing ransomly to the decadence that is happening in this country. What will you teach me? You only corrupt me. That's what you will do. You understand?
Yes,
because,
please.
If I'm learning taekwondo or I'm learning kung fu, what my master teach me is what I'm going to exhibit. Okay? So there is nothing like everybody knows what is right. Everybody knows what is right. At some point, when you see people talking, at my level now, I know when you are speaking from the heart, and I know also when you are talking politics. So everybody acknowledge one thing, that we are in crisis. But I decide I want to limit, sometimes in media and what have you, I'm limiting my, comments and observations in AMAC. But of course, we all know that if the grassroots is okay, there is little that will be done up there. If the grassroots, because a lot of these problems are in the grassroots. If there is fuel scarcity, if there is, what was it called, price of commodities have gone up, the grassroots are the ones suffering it first before any other person.
Absolutely.
So the local government, lastly, my word would be the local government needs to be taken seriously. These governors have subjected us into something that we can hardly come out from. And what they subjected us to is they have refused to give the local governments autonomy.
Autonomy, right.
Power to do what they are supposed to do have been denied from them.
Fantastic.
In 99, when we're in Ingawa, Kasina local government, I mean, if you see local government chairman, it's as if you have seen one of your best youths. You don't see local government chairman anyhow. But look at how the governors have messed up local government chairman now. The leadership of local government, nothing is happening. You understand?
Yes, please.
No jobs, nothing, because as at that time when they have their autonomy, when a local government chairman gives construction of roads, culverts, drainages, boreholes, and the rest of them, the people in the community are the ones doing those contracts. Is boosting the economy of that community. But right now, the governors are the ones that will decide who they will bring that will do the contract in that community. They might go to Enugu if they have a friend to come to Kwara State to do the contract because they want to do a favor to him, denying and depriving the people of that community the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Honorable. We got yet another 2 chapters for 2 liners. Do you want to introduce the next person? So that would be
Mr. Isaac Fayoshe, your parting word this afternoon, please.
All right, so I think we don't have any country yet. I think, as I said, the we have villagers, and we have the chiefs. Or we can say Nigeria is a company, not a country. Because country where our thumb, they bring leaders in. Na selection then they do. We don't have any say. I think it is time to release ourselves from this shackle. I think it's revolution now. That's what I believe. That's the only way we can get out of this thing. Because people that are holding us, they are holding us like this. In the same country where ministers now freely drive Rolls Royce. Freely. Ministers now buy houses in America for children. And the FCC is not inviting him. Minister now share our land in Abuja anyhow. Nobody can talk. We don't have any country. These people you see on the street, they have taken their destiny away from them completely. These people are armed robbers. We need to take our country back now. If we do round table from now till next year, nothing will happen. In 2027, they will still force themselves on us. They will still do us anyhow. There is no hope. It is hopeless society. No money for the youth. Everybody is hungry. They are helpless. I don't even see election 2027. If we continue like this, we just see people outside. I'm telling you, we collect our country back from these people that have hijacked the system. They are all armed robbers. And God will free us from the thieves. So I believe it's revolution.
Thank you.
And the time is now. God bless you guys.
Thank you very much. Let me use this opportunity to thank the News Agency of Nigeria. They are monitoring all our conversations since the beginning of this conversation. Thank you so much. And they are going to be these reports, and this deliberation will be put on almost all the newspapers and other media houses in the country. At this time, please let's go to Dr. Khalifa Abbas. Please, 1 minute, your parting word this afternoon, please. Dr. Abbas. And if it's not there, please, can I go on to Miss Blessing Agu, please? 1 minute, please.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
can
can.
hear you.
Okay, so I'll just talk on two things. This last thing. The first one is for the policy makers, the government people, and then the second one is for we young people. So for the policy makers, I would advise that we should be more people-centric. Doing is politics, or for maybe party sake or for personal interest sake. If it's not centered at the
Hello, Miss Blessing. I think your network keeps fluctuating. Can you hear us, ma'am?
Oh, sorry, if we have problem with that, please can we go to Dr. Nazil, the National President of United Nigeria Youth Congress, for his word this afternoon before we go ahead and round up the event. Thank you very much. Doctor, are you there?
Yes, thank you very much, everyone, and good afternoon. Happy Independence.
And thank you for your patience too, Doctor.
All right, it's okay. So, things like this.
Can you hear me?
We'll come back to you, Miss Blessing. We'll come back to you shortly. Dr. Nasi, you can go ahead.
Right. When I've seen cases like this of young Nigerians who have ideas and who are very talented, it gives me more hope on the issue of Nigeria. And this is exactly why we initiated the United Nigerian Youth Congress for over 13 years today, so that we can all team up, bring new ideas and how we can be able to structure ourselves and take over the affairs of the country. You see, we shouldn't just be going like this. It's very important if we can, after sharing our ideas, we can also, let's say, share our details and contacts so that we can be able to be seasoned together for people who call like minds. Because it takes these like mind people to come together, because I believe we have like-minded people like us, thousands and millions in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, we don't have the means or medium or a platform that we can be able to express what we have and the ideas we have and what we can do for the country. In any of my interviews, whether in the national, media stations, what I used to say is, power is not something that is given. Power is something that you must take. You must work hard for it and you must fight for it. And that was why the structure of the United Nigerian Congress, we emphasize on creating the biggest structure Nigerians have never seen yet. Because it takes only this kind of structure and well-meaning Nigerians with ideas who are well dedicated enough, who knows what they want, for us to achieve what we really want. I keep telling people, making a president is the easiest thing we can ever do. But now the problem is, how can we come together and form that structure that will fight those in positions of authority? We can't do that if we don't come together. So in places like this, we can be able to share our contacts, discuss about what is happening, our ideas, so that we can all team up and bring up a better Nigeria. The United Nigerian Congress, every year we used to have National Youth Conference. And this conference is not just a conference that we will just come and speak. No, it's a conference that will always bring about solutions to Nigerian problems. And that is why in December, 4th of December, we will be having the 2025 National Youth Conference. And I would really love to see the faces here on the panel, discussion on that conference, because it will be a very huge one. And these ideas really needs, people outside, because I can see the number of people, joining this. In fact, it's even more of, if we can't take it out, it will be more of lost ideas. Maybe we'll just be speaking and nothing will happen.
Absolutely.
And embark on what we call action, because sitting together is what will make us bring something very tangible. And I don't mind spending 10 hours listening to people speaking here. From, I think, Isaac, from MC Tagwaye, from Mazi, right?
No.
Mazi Dixon Irebu.
Mazi Dixon Irebu.
I'm just trying to give him the whole name.
He's only clamoring for the release
Of his brother.
Of his brother.
He's my brother. He's my brother. It's okay.
We're all brothers.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
So this is a bridge that we are trying to to close, because Nigeria for a very long time, wrong things have been happening, and for someone like me, my nature has always been to be on one side. I think one of the speakers called us technocrats. If technocrats decide to be on one side, then mechanics or the less intelligent,
Less technocrats.
exactly, will continue to rule us. So this is what kept me from me being silent. I don't mind being on an island, sleeping alone without anybody close to me. That used to be my nature. But when I realized that, there's no doubt I'm very educated. I have like 5 master's degree and and other qualifications. So it keeps showing that the worst thing that we can ever do to Nigeria is to go to sit down and allow and tell ourselves that politics is a dirty game and allow the wrong part of our society to keep determining the future of our nation. And this must stop. And the only way this can stop is if we are ready to challenge those in positions of authority. I sat with different people with different ideas, people in power, and mostly, honestly, let me be honest with you, when I see people, sometimes in my mind I used to say, look at this idiot, he's the one ruling us, he's the one determining what is happening. And that is what kept motivating me on how to come out and bring the brilliant youths together like this, so that we can all team up and bring up a nation that can favor each and every one of us. So please, I would like all of us, maybe if we can, on the comment section, put our names, drop our contact details, so that we can having this kind of interaction. And
Or better still, sorry for interjecting, Doctor. Or better still, you could just write to us. No, I'm just saying, sir, that you could actually write to us through Ambassador Desmond Agbola, and I'm sure he would ensure that every person here would be there for you on the 3rd of December.
Right. That would be wonderful, because I really want everyone here to be. I would want to see each and everyone here on the panel session of the National Youth Conference, which is coming on December, so that the faces will be shown. Everyone, we're expecting thousands of people, and these same ideas will go out.
Yes, sir.
So these are my own contributions, and I hope I'm very optimistic. I'm very patriotic. I'm a patriotic Nigerian who believe that Nigeria will be a great nation. I hope we all have this same in mind, because without patriotism, nothing can happen. And that is why the 3 key objectives or aims of the United Nations Congress has always been to promote national unity, promote peace, and then the most important thing is to promote patriotism. I believe we can be able to solve the issue of patriotism. We must have solved 90% of our problems. Because, of course, most of our speakers... Recording in progress. Yes. Most of our speakers say that we don't have a nation yet. Well, to some extent, I will agree. Well, to another extent, I would love to believe that a nation can only exist when you have people who truly believe in the country.
Absolutely.
And I believe that Nigeria will be a great nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Oh, please, can we allow Ms. Blessing Agu to just land on your thoughts, please? Just a minute, please. A minute, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you so much. I don't know why it keeps taking me out when I want to speak over.
It's your village people.
Obviously. So yeah, quick point. The 2 things I want to really part ways with is one, we leaders, we should purge our mind. I mean, I don't know who is here. I'm sure most of us are close to decision makers and policy makers out there. So let's take this message to them. We need to purge our minds to know that everything has to be citizen-centered. If it is not citizen-centered, then somehow it is wrong, right? If it is more of politics and what may be selfish, or what you're going to gain, or what...
I told you, her village people. Miss Blessing, your village people are really strong.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I think you should wrap up quickly before your village people come up.
Okay, so for the youth, right, I would encourage us to also not just look at the president every time. It's always, President Tinubu and what have you. We have local government chairman, executive. They are 100% autonomy. They have financial autonomy. They should look at holding these people accountable. And the good thing is that they don't have immunity, so it's very okay to start from there to hold the local government accountable. And then, of course, let's leverage on technology. I see how young people use technology, in other things. We use it to see people dance online, very good. But if you leverage on technology to hold your leaders accountable, call them out, especially at your community, at your ward level, at your local government level, at your state level. You call them out when you monitor some of these budgets or contracts, and then you see that things are not being done. You use the technology, you write them an open letter, you call them out. I'm sure this will help us in not just being patriotic, but also pushing for an accountable state within our country. So let's just get involved, all the young people, just like what our speakers have said. You cannot afford to say, I'm not going to be politically involved. So even if you're not going to be politically involved, at least make sure you use some of the instruments you have, which is technology, to hold your local government, to hold your government accountable.
Fantastic. That's an amazing place to live in, Miss Blessing Agu. And then last but not least, the representative of Mr. Dipo Jaji in the person of Miss Favor. Please, 1 minute and not 2 chapters.
All right, thank you very much again for this opportunity. So I'll just narrow it down. I think the summary of everything that we'll be saying here is how to get the youth interested again, and also support democracy, support and uphold democracy. Right now, the youth are saying they are uninterested and all of that. And I'm going to say the real change starts in communities. It's grassroots. That's where the main change starts from. When people have skills and opportunities, they participate more. They trust the system. Like it's a two-way relationship. So you are giving them something, and in return, they are actually giving you something again from their own angle. So when people are given opportunities and their skills are being empowered and all of that, they participate more, they trust the system, and they protect the democracy. So empowered locals, you see these empowered locals, when you want to check even crime rate and everything, they are still within the community. There are still people that they actually just say that they're just locals, considered as locals. But when these people are empowered, these are the people that are going to actually strengthen the nation and also create, or at the end of the day, help us to have a more stable nation. And at Dipodaji again, which is who I'm representing, that is what we are doing. That is where our focus is: grassroots, changing the lives of people, providing opportunities. We have a financial empowerment program that is coming up for youth. We have a digital empowerment program summit that is coming up for you. These are ways we are training people. We have different things that we have used by youth. And youth is youth, even if you don't go to Dipodaji, there is a youth, there is mother, there is father, and that is family, and that is children.
Fantastic.
So we've already started from the grassroots, and I mean everyone here to join. We already stand up is not giveaway.
Can we mute the person who isn't speaking?
But start from your grassroots, but then that's what's actually going to strengthen the nation and strengthen democracy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Miss Favor. Again, you've done justice, and I'm sure your mentor and leader would be very proud of you. Gentlemen, please, we cannot fix Nigeria if we do not obey simple instructions such as mute your mic when you're not speaking. Kindly mute your mic if you do not have the floor. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we round up this conversation on Nigeria at 65, the youth perspective, I am deeply inspired by the passion, wisdom, and vision that have been shared in this space. Today reminds us that the story of Nigeria is still being written and the pen is firmly in our hands. But let me ask us, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? If our heroes past gave us independence, what legacy will we as the youth of today hand over to the next generation? Independence is not just about celebration or deliberation. It is about responsibility. It is about the courage to rise above excuses, the vision to reimagine and create a will to rebuild Nigeria. My prayer sincerely is that this conversation does not end here. May it be the spark that drives us to act, to create, and to lead with integrity. The Nigeria we dream of is possible if we dare to believe, and even more if we dare to build. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this fantastic discussion. A huge thank you to the convener in the person of Ambassador Desmond Agbola. You've been doing this for 9 years with your resources. And I dare say same for all of us here. Virtually every one of us here, we have been running our vision, running our foundation, running our ideologies on and with our resources. And I pray that the good Lord blesses us, and that most importantly, our dream for a progressive, truly living giant of Africa will definitely come to pass in our lifetime. Thank you very much for being here. My name is Dr. Ogenawolte Kubiri.
My name is Ambassador Desmond Agbola, and a very big thank you to mass media for providing this platform for us this afternoon. Thank you to Ms. John Christopher for giving us this lovely studio to have this conversation this afternoon. Nigeria at 65. Happy independence. God bless
The Federal Republic of Nigeria.
See you soon.
See you next year.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye for now.
Thank you, guys. Nice one, guys. Nice one.
Okay. Who is that mad person that is now playing news for us?
They should have muted the person.
No, the person that now started talking on his own.
They should have muted him.
Okay, I don't know say they talk like this.
Oh,
I don't know say she did spit fire.
So he